So we must do two things, two great things together to encompass that enormous new view that lies before us, but to encompass it within the framework of science, to see it within the whole categorical framework of science, and to see that these two are not separate, but that they are wedded. The bigness of the idea, the newness of the idea, the greatness of it is one with the structure of science, the structure of being itself. So we come to spirit as spirit, gratitude for the good already received. You hear it? Huh? All right, you already have something. Now you're going to be grateful for it. That's a spiritual quality of valuing it. To be grateful for something is to value something, to give value to it. This is all spirit, isn't it? A spirit issue. Do you know that from your synonym study? From the dimensional presentation of the synonyms? That adorable one is the good. It's the one, it's the only value, therefore. And so that raises up within me the quality of valuing spirit, the spiritual. And that's gratitude. She says, how empty are our conceptions of deity? Again, reminding us of mind, as though to say, the human conception of God, it's so empty. It's empty, substanceless. What is of substance is mind's conception of itself, that which we have been given in the first tone. This is substance. We admit theoretically that God is good, omnipotent, omnipresent, infinite. So we have a theoretical awareness or admitting about the divine cybernetic principle, the self-organizing principle, love, divine science. But we then try to give information to this mind, and this is a dead giveaway that we have not availed ourselves of the rule. That there is something within us that is tending toward equilibrium, that is not autocatalytic if we try to give information to this infinite mind. She's calling it prayerful ingratitude. We plead for unmerited pardon and for a liberal outpouring of benefactions. We plead for an outpouring of benefactions. And it's right within us. The outpouring of benefactions is within you, isn't it? According to the rule. Avail yourself of the rule. And you have within you, you are the liberal outpouring of benefactions, a conscious consciousness of that. Are we really grateful for the good already received? Then we shall avail, there it comes again, avail ourselves of what? The blessings we have, and thus be fitted to receive more. Can you hear it? Can you hear the autocatalysis in that? Be honest, can you? That if we take what we have and we love it, we use it, we put it to good use, it becomes more. We receive more. Yeah.
So gratitude is much more than a verbal expression of thanks. Action expresses more gratitude than speech. So it's, we touch that action, that sense of expressing gratitude for what we have and not just talking about it. So this is where complexity comes from. This is where order comes from. It's the law of order that we see here, of like producing like, which is counter to anything within us that is saying, it isn't enough, I don't have enough understanding. That claim that I don't have enough understanding for a healing or for making progress or to be able to know what this science is all about. I want more. Anything within us that says I want more, I need more than I have. I already know that. Sometimes you hear a student say, oh, I know that. I've been working with that. Yeah, I read that last week. Like, tell me something I don't know. See? Tell me something I don't know. As though it could be added from the outside. So sometimes there's a continual pleading with the so-called practitioner, pleading for more, pleading for an answer, for a reason why things are the way they are. Always looking outside of oneself. It's not availing oneself of the blessings that one already has. So we come to spirit as soul. Unselfed gratitude for God, and not primarily for His blessings, unfolds fruitful life. If we are ungrateful, so now ungrateful, if we are ungrateful, if we aren't grateful for life, truth, and love, so she goes right to the core, right to the essence, right to the deep structure. Life, truth, and love. Are you grateful for the deep structure of life, truth, and love? The essence of the principle, of the divine cybernetic principle. Actually, we can see that she may mean life, truth, and love, therefore on the level of divine science. Are we grateful for life, truth, and love? The essence of the divine self-organizing principle. The pattern. Are we grateful for the divine pattern behind everything? Or she may mean the law of life, truth, and love in absolute Christian Science. That very law that is the impulsion behind this chapter from absolute Christian Science, the law of life, truth, and love, impelling the revelation of the divine nature on us. Are we grateful for that? How many of us express that every day, that gratitude, to be impelled upon by life, truth, and love with the divine nature? Or she may just say, well, actually the reader doesn't know yet very much about, consciously very much about absolute Christian Science and divine science. And so she may just be referring us back to the subtones of life, truth, and love in mind. Right? That one being, that life sense, God is love. Can we ask Him to be more? Do we expect more? God is life already pouring forth more than we accept. Are we grateful for that? Are we grateful for truth that one being, that divine principle, is not only being right, but doing right, always doing right, can never be advised beyond its own intelligence to do what it is doing. And love, are we grateful for the rule? Are we grateful for the rule that we've been given? So if we are ungrateful for life, truth, and love, and yet return thanks to God for all our blessings, we're actually insincere and incur the sharp censure our master pronounces on hypocrites. She says, this is hypocritical. That sounds pretty harsh, doesn't it? And anything that doesn't go right to the core of being, namely to the categories of being, to the capitalized terms as the source of everything, is in a degree hypocritical. In such a case, the only acceptable prayer is to put the finger on the lips. And it's funny, it's that soul subtone again, and we had that in Mind as Soul about something about the lips. What was it? Lip service. Yeah, the lip service. Put the finger on the lips and remember your blessings. Remember the blessings. While the heart is far from divine truth and love, we cannot conceal the ingratitude of barren lives. So our gratitude has to be sincere and genuine. And we come to Spirit as principle. Through which spiritual qualities can this reflection be brought forth? By keeping Jesus' commandments, we furnish the proof of our gratitude. What we most need is the prayer of fervent desire for growth in grace. That's what the autocatalysis does to us. It brings our growth in grace, expressed in patience, meekness, love, and good deeds. To keep the commandments of our Master. And what were the commandments? What commandments does she mean? She actually means those two great commandments: to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. Yes. When we come to the tone of principle and the subtone of principle is principle, this whole issue comes up again. It's the crux. The crux will become, do you love your neighbor? Whew. Yeah. So it's autocatalytic to keep these commandments. This brings spiritual growth. To follow his example, that this is our proper debt to him, and the only worthy evidence that a spirit tone coming in there, that it's evidence that it's worthwhile, it's valuable, it is the only valuable evidence, the only evidence of value to show forth our gratitude for all that he has done. You see that it's really asking of us that that coincidence with principle, that isomorphy with principle. Outward worship is not of itself sufficient to express loyal and heartfelt gratitude, since he has said, "If ye love me, keep my commandments." So we get there the principled attitude of loving God and man, that this is a proof of gratitude, and that this pays our debt properly. You see that the nature that we have been presented with in mind is spirit. That what we have been given in mind, fluctuated with in mind, is the nature of spirit, of the nature of spirit. And spirit means that like produces like. That means that spirit, that nature within us, is autocatalytic, like producing like. What is the method of autocatalysis? It's the method of spirit. It means that the system has an activator in it. The system of consciousness now has an activator in it. That's what they call a catalyst, an activator, that brings forth a reaction, a good reaction, a reaction of good. Good reacting, reflecting on itself. And so the tone of spirit shows us that method. In Spirit is Mind, it says, by absolute consecration of thought, absolute consecration of that energy and of your desire, the desire and energy of the vision of mind, this can reflect God. This brings forth, this is the reflection of God. That as Spirit, by gratitude for the good already received in mind, being grateful for that, we are fitted to receive more good. But to devalue the good that you have received is a depriving sense. Deprives you of the spiritual advancement. Well, yes. Actually, we'll see that we can't be deprived, but that's the phenomenon that we experience until we are forced, divinely forced by the homeorrhea and the homeostasis to change our course. If we have gotten off the course, to correct our course and to go in the direction of the autocatalytic method within us. In soul, Spirit is soul, what is the method of autocatalysis? That gratitude must be sincere, a gratitude for life, truth, and love. As principle, it's gratitude expressed by doing it, by being principled and doing that which is principled. That's all implied in keeping the commandments, that this is a proof. Our gratitude for Jesus, you see, she brings in Jesus as the ideal. Always uses him as the ideal, cybernetic consciousness. Yeah. that which we strive towards. Because he was the Christ, he had the ideal Christ consciousness or cybernetic consciousness, and this is what we strive toward. That's why she calls him the Master, and says that we should strive to keep his commandments, because they go to the pith or to the core of the whole cybernetic identity. As life, then, what? As life, we are going to see that the method of autocatalysis is that habitual striving, that our gratitude must be habitual.